The world falls into a state where demons are causing chaos and gods are making plans to fight each other, until we meet Heron, a poor miner who changes into a breath of fresh air for both people and God. He learns who he is and wakes up to his true power, turning into a demigod. Heron is a young man with a strong will who mines ore for a very low wage. The village where he lives mostly treats him and his mother badly. Every day, he gets paid less and less for his work, even though he hasn't done anything wrong except be born to Electra, who has never been married. He's nice and helps people out of the goodness of his heart, but instead of being thanked, they insult him. One day, when demons are closing in on the village to turn the people there into demons, he barely makes it out alive. When an Amazonian woman named Alexia runs in with her squad, people start running for their lives. Heron hears the noise and goes to check it out. When he tells Alexia that he hasn't seen any demons, she runs away. When they hear something groan, Heron and another man go to see what it is because they think it might be a demon. But they find Elias, an old drunk man he knows well, who just broke his leg at the worst time. Heron takes Elias to his mother so she can help him while he gets the drunk old man some water. While he's doing it, he sees a woman in a fountain and goes to see if she needs help. When he gets there and picks her up, he sees her inside spill into the water. He gets scared and lets her go, which is the first time he meets a demon. The demon tries to drown him in the fountain, but he fights it off and kicks it out. He goes flying when the demon hits him with a column. Alexia quickly shows up and stabs the demon, but it doesn't die. Instead, it gets angry and fights back, eventually beating her and swinging her into the building. Heron wakes up and uses his fire torch to fight the demon, sending it into the water. But even though it hurts, the demon still gets up and runs away. Alexia finds a man she thinks is up to no good just as people are getting ready to leave the markets. She puts him in jail and ties him to a post in the middle of the village. Then she tells the other villagers about demons and how they can look like people. Heron and his mother bring Elias home with them. There, Elias tells Heron how the demons came to be after the Titans, where a man found the remains of a Titan washed up on the beach and ate its flesh to gain the Titan's favor and get a bident he can throw and pull back from anywhere. This man went on to start a cult of demons and now has guns to either convert or kill everyone he meets. Soon, Alexia goes back to Heron to tell him that she found a map with directions to a labyrinth in Melodoni where the Titan's remains are still there. She asks Heron to join her group and fight to protect the village, but he refuses because he is still angry about how the same people treated him. He runs home quickly and packs up their things so he and his mother can escape the demons and the village. But Electra stops him and asks him to think again. Some men come to their house to burn his mother to see if she is a demon, but Heron fights them off. When Electra sees her son being hit, she stops them and sets herself on fire to prove that she is not a demon. This saves her son and shows that she is not a demon. Heron gets even more angry at the people and the world for putting him in this situation and making him too weak to do anything about it. Elias comes to him and tells him to go mine a special ore at the top of the mountain so that he can use it to make a powerful sword. Heron gets to the mountain, but when he stops to rest on the way up, he falls asleep. He wakes up from a dream in which his mother was a queen who had 2 boys by 2 different men. He keeps going and makes it to the top. As Elias told him, he digs up the ore and takes it home. Heron asks Elias about a seal he saw in a dream while Elias is still making the sword. The old man tells him that he was born in Corinth and that the gods of dreams gave him the dream. After a while, he goes to talk to his mother about his dream. Electra finally tells him that she used to be the queen of Corinth and explains how she became poor and sad. She tells Heron about his father, Zeus, and how he helped them move to the village to get away from Zeus's wife, Hera. Heron asks about his twin brother Elias, who everyone thinks is dead, and finds out that Elias is actually Zeus. He goes outside to talk to Elias, but he isn't there. Instead, he finds the sword, which glows bright blue when he touches it. He doesn't want it and throws it away. Elias soon shows up while Heron is washing his face. He tells Heron that he is really Zeus, but Heron tells him to leave and never come back. As the demons get closer to the village, Alexia comes running after a dog with 3 heads named Cerberus. They both want to stay alive. Heron looks for his mother, who is also looking for him in the village, but he can't find her. He and Alexia keep running away, but Cerberus catches up and attacks Heron. He and Alexia fight off the attack. Alexia manages to hurt one of the heads, which makes it move more slowly and gives them more time to run until they reach the village gates. They tell the leader of Alexia's squad that Heron has been building a mine tunnel for years. They could crawl through it to get away from the demons. Even though he won't listen to the fake guy, the man gets the villagers together and leads them to the tunnel. As Heron runs around the village calling for his mother, a demon on a sphinx in the forest far away throws a spear at him. Zeus steps in and tells Heron about it through his mind. Heron avoids it, but when the demon gets it back, he gets hurt. Zeus tells him to run, but Heron shoots an arrow at the demon. The demon shoots back with his spear and flies down to where Heron is to attack him up close. He keeps trying to hurt Heron, but Zeus helps Heron get out of harm's way. The demon follows him and keeps attacking him. Heron sets oil on fire to protect himself and get away from the demons. He goes outside to look for his mother, but he can't find her. When the demons keep coming with Cerberus, he finally hides behind a tree while their leader talks to the villagers and asks where Alexia is. He says his name is Seraphim and kills one of the people in the group because he is a noble. This is because his uncle killed his adoptive mother, and he is angry at his uncle. Seraphim tells his men to follow Alexia's scent to find her. He then finds Electra hiding. As Seraphim tries to kill Electra, Heron comes running and tries to protect her, but Seraphim hits him. He tries to fight, but he gets beat up. When he's on the ground, his mother tries to crawl to him, but Seraphim throws his spear into the air, and when it hits the ground, it stabs Electra. After seeing his mother take her last breath, Heron screams in tears and is taken away. Elias is sad about Electra's death, and when Alexia comes, he tells her that Heron has been taken by demons. Heron finally sees his mother in his dreams before she goes to the underworld after she leaves. She tells him to be strong and stay true to himself while he is in a cage with other men, and being guarded by Cerberus. All of them are taken somewhere else by Seraphim's men. When they get to their destination, they get off their cages and walk like prisoners being whipped by snappers. They are put on ships that will take them to their new home, if it ever happens. They get on the ships and start rowing as they leave the place with the other prisoners. Kofi and Evios are two of the prisoners that Heron talks to in secret. He thinks of a way to get away. When the demon guards come in, Evios and Kofi make a scene by stealing keys, which is what Evios does best because he is a thief. When the guards aren't looking, they unlock their handcuffs and get out of their chains so they can fight them. They help the other prisoners break free, and then they take control of the ship and turn it around. Seraphim shows up just as they start to think they might have made it. He gets on the ship and shows them the sword Elias made for Heron. Hera sent him to get the Cauldron of Darkness from where Heron had thrown it so that he could kill Heron, get the Cauldron of Darkness back, and kill Zeus. When he gets close to the men on the ship, Heron doesn't think twice before charging at Seraphim. But when Zeus sees this and realizes that his son isn't ready, he uses lightning to strike down the ship, stopping the fight that was about to happen. Seraphim tries to attack Heron again when he gets up, but Zeus won't let him. He hits the water more than once, making big waves that separate the two men and break up the ship. Heron is saved from Seraphim at last. When he gets out of the water, Elias shows up and asks Heron to help him figure out what's going on. Heron doesn't want to help, but when Elias tells him that he could kill Seraphim with his help, he changes his mind. Elias tells Alexia, Kofi, and Evios to go to Melodone to get the Titan's remains and burn them while he takes Heron to Mount Olympus. He calls out a griffin and gives it to Heron. Heron turns into an eagle and leads the way. Since Zeus doesn't know how to stop having illegitimate children, the gods have no choice but to reject his billionth one. But Hermes goes to see him because he is his half-brother. Apollo and Artemis follow him because they are Zeus's other illegitimate children and are related to him. Zeus's decision to bring a human into their world quickly makes Hera angry. Zeus says he's sorry for being unfaithful to her and promises to do better. We've heard this before, but where? He asks for her forgiveness, and she says she will give it if he kills Heron. But Zeus won't let it happen. She and all the other gods, including Hermes, who didn't want to leave, go to the underworld, where Hades lets them stay but doesn't get involved in the situation. Zeus takes Heron and puts him in a fight with one of Hephaestus' automatons so that Heron can learn how to fight and get his divine power. He tries hard to stand up to it, but every time it throws him to the ground without hurting him. Zeus tells him to stop fighting out of anger and relax, but he doesn't listen. He can't be calm because he has never known it. All he knows is anger, which drives him to fight, but in this case, it's not working. The next day, he asks Zeus why he lets Seraphim live. Zeus tells him that Seraphim is his twin half-brother and that Electra wouldn't want him to die. Heron can't believe what his father told him. Still, he keeps training until he is finally able to watch his opponent calmly, find a weak spot, and stab it. He beats the robot, and Zeus is happy for him. Hermes tells Zeus about the other gods who live in the underworld. Then the Fates call Heron. Zeus takes him to see the Fates, and he waits outside while Heron goes inside by himself. He goes into a room with strings of fate and meets three sisters who want to help him. He touches his life string and sees everything that has happened to him from the time he was born until now. The Fates tell him that he is coming to a crossroads. When he touches it, he sees his friends in trouble. At Melodone, he asks the Fates if they will die, but they don't answer. Even though Zeus says he's not ready yet, he runs outside to try to help them. When he gets to the fields of the dead in the labyrinth of Melodone, he saves his friends from a minotaur who is guarding the area. They all go inside and try to find their way through the maze. When they get to where the Titan's bones should be, they don't find them. Seraphim and his demons show up to say hello, and Heron and Seraphim meet for the first time as brothers. Seraphim asks him to join the demons and help them defeat the gods, who killed their mother. He tells him he can either be with him or against him. Heron chooses to be against him, so he is immediately attacked. When the fight starts, the group runs away from the demons. Seraphim throws his spear, which causes the place to collapse. This lets the group escape while closing in on Seraphim and his demons. They get on the griffin and go to Olympus. Hermes seems to want to give Zeus a message from Hera while Zeus and Heron are still watching what's going on the sea. Hermes stabs him in the neck when he gets close, but the real Hermes comes and kicks the other Hermes, who turns out to be Hera. She leaves while Zeus bleeds to death on the ground. Zeus stops bleeding just before he dies and wakes up to take a breath. Poseidon comes with Apollo, who was hurt when Ares attacked. He tells them that Hera has the cauldron and that they need to find it to put the Titans back to sleep. Heron offers to help find it, and they start their plan and get ready to fight. Apollo gives Heron a bow and some arrows to protect himself, and as soon as everyone is ready, the Titans march up to Olympus to fight the gods. The attacks come from Olympus first, but Hera sends them back. They keep attacking even though Hera and the Titans are also attacking back. Heron's group is sent to Earth to find the cauldron. After looking everywhere but not finding the cauldron, Heron finally figures out that it must be in the sky. He flies there and finds the pot that Hera's powers are holding up. He shoots the crows, which makes the cauldron fall. He then catches it, even though the Seraphim are after him. When he meets Seraphim, they both start fighting for the cauldron. Heron's griffin falls to the ground after Seraphim shoots it with his spear, killing Heron. But he tries to hold on to the Sphinx, but Seraphim lets him go and takes the cauldron for himself. Seraphim starts to think he runs the world because he flies above everything and all the chaos. But Kofi hits the cauldron into Heron's hands and jumps on him. He tries to grab him, but when he falls, the griffin catches him. Alexia jumps and cuts the bottom of the Sphinx, causing it to fall to the ground. Seraphim stands up and goes after her. Seraphim throws his spear at him, but he dodges it. He runs at him and punches him down. He keeps hitting him as memories of his dead parents flood his mind and make him cry. Seraphim finally blocks Heron's punches, stabs him in the face, and pushes him away. He grabs him by the neck and tries to stab him with his spear, but Heron stops him because he doesn't want to get hurt. He remembers that Zeus told him to stay calm, so he does just that and lets the spear hit him. He forces it through to stab Seraphim. Seraphim takes it away, and when Heron turns to face him, he opens his brightly glowing eyes and calls down lightning to hit Seraphim and kill him. A giant comes out from behind him and tries to crush him, but he sees the cauldron and carries Seraphim there to seal it with his brother's soul. The souls of the Titans are pulled back into the cauldron, and they return to the darkness, saving the world. The next morning, when Heron wakes up, his half-brothers are there to welcome him into the family.